Hey, brother teacher here. Have you ever had someone steal from you? Steal something from you? Your personal or private merchandise, material, property, to include money, cash. Has that ever happened to you? Could have been a stranger, could have been someone that you knew, friend or past friend, or maybe even a family member. But just the same, they stole something from you. If this has happened to you, how did you handle it? How did you deal with someone stealing from you? I've been stolen from. I felt violated. I've had my business over the years broken into on a couple of occasions. It bothered me. But after a while, as it relates to the business, I got sort of accustomed to the idea that that could possibly happen because it's just the nature of the beast, so to speak. But as far as my home is concerned, that's a totally different animal. I would really truly be in a certain frame of mind if someone broke into my home and stole from me, or even someone that I knew, family members or otherwise, that was in my home while I was there and they stole something from me. It's not right to steal from other people because you damage them in some form or fashion, possibly, potentially. Most people are upstanding, decent individuals that try to work and provide for themselves and their families. You don't deserve to have someone take something from you that you've worked for or someone has gifted to you, given to you, in other words. So, again, my question is, did it hurt to have someone steal from you? And have you ever had something stolen from you that it didn't bother you that much or even at all? Here's what I want to share with you. There's two types of thefts. There's one theft where someone steals property or cash for gain, for the sole purpose of elevating themselves, so that they can be a baller, so to speak, so that they can take advantage of you from the standpoint because a lot of times they think that you have it or you have too much, you have more than them, or they just simply don't care because they are simply thieves. That's just what they do. That's their modus operandi. That's how they operate. They don't have a job, oftentimes, more so than not. And sometimes they do have a job and they still take from others, regardless. They just feel like somehow they are deserving of someone else's property, to include cash. There are some people that might even steal from you and hold you at gunpoint while they're stealing from you. That happens every day, all day long, across the world. And other people, they steal from you unbeknownst to you while you are absent from your job or your home. And they may even steal from you while you're in their presence and you may not even know that they're doing it. Sometimes it can be small thefts. But anyway, this is what I'm getting at. I was talking about two types of theft. And I just mentioned the one where people steal just to blow up themselves, just to have more than what they already have. And if they have nothing, they just to have, period. But there's also the theft. You're going to have to bear with me on this because a lot of people may not understand what I'm about to say. There's the theft of necessity. What do you mean, brother teacher? I'm going to tell you. When someone steals to feed themselves, when they are actually poor, destitute, down and out, incapacitated, no job, in between jobs, they have a prison record or a jail record, and they are stealing to eat or stealing to provide food for their family. That type of theft. And I did use the term necessity. Is it wrong to steal? Absolutely. It is wrong. But there are some pros and cons to stealing. Don't forget the one that I pointed out at first. The individual or the person that steals just for gain, just to take. They are a taker. That's the nature of who they are. Then there's that individual who may have lost their job, who doesn't have quite enough to pay their bills. They steal for their purpose. But the individual, were they given the chance or the opportunity, they would pay you back. This is what the scripture says. Proverbs chapter 6, verse 30. Men do not despise a thief if he steal to satisfy his soul when he is hungry. But if he be found, he shall restore 70-fold. He shall give all the substance of his house. In other words, he says pay people back with interest if you steal to survive or to eat. Now, our society is set up in such a way that they prosecute people who steal for whatever the reason is. It doesn't matter, even if it's out of necessity. Now, if there's an individual who has been stolen from, who has any amount of capacity to forgive or even compassion towards that person's situation, who may be hungry for real, then they should forgive the individual and maybe even help them out if they have sufficient to give. Now, this may not set too well with some, but some others may understand fully. And I showed you clear account in the scripture, in the Bible, where it says if you do steal to feed yourself, you should pay it back with interest. Now, if you're just stealing just to be stealing again, to take, so that you can gain some form of wealth, and you're bold with it, you need to go to jail. It's that simple. And to sum it all up, I'm going to say this. I have more compassion for an individual who is stealing, knowing that they have exhausted all of their resources, and in their heart they know that they can't find any money, any viable means of work, and they're stealing, not trying to harm anyone physically, not using any types of weapons, but just trying to pick up something so that they can take care of themselves for the day or the next day or their families. I have more respect and compassion for that individual versus the one who is actually a thief indeed. And there is a distinct difference. So the person who steals for gain, that's a real thief. The person who steals out of necessity, that's just simply someone who stole something. What do you think? This is Brother Teacher.